Welcome to this month's review on the new AKM2G product. I'm sure most of you have seen at least one presentation on the AKM2G and will most likely see a few more. This will of course be one of them. As you may have seen in other presentations, the AKM2G is a new addition to the AKM and Kollmorgen team. Like the other members of a team, the AKM2G has its strengths and reasons it is called into the game. Take football, for example. I occasionally get to watch a Virginia Tech game in person, but even when watching them on TV, the span of the team on the sidelines is crazy. Compared to other sports, football has a large team, and the overall team has smaller, focused teams within, like offense, defense, and special teams. Like all of the members of a football team, AKM2G fits into the overall rotary servo team. AKM, VLM, and Goldline all have their strengths, and that applies to the AKM2G as well. So with AKM here to stay, AKM2G can enhance the overall team. One of the main advantages of the AKM2G is that it has a smaller footprint when comparing similar torque and power. Here you can see the AKM2G inside a clear frame of a competitive motor for equivalent performance. AKM2G is small and powerful, much like gymnasts that are usually smaller than the average athlete. However, their size doesn't negate their power. No one ever argues about their athleticism or power. Going hand in hand with a smaller footprint is the idea that AKM2Gs that are the same size as other motors have more torque or power. Boxers are put into classes based on their weight for fights, in order to make sure it's a fair fight. If one of the boxers has more muscle or strength, then they essentially have more power in the same frame size. Similar to AKM2G, which has more power in a smaller frame size to its competitors. In addition to a smaller frame and more torque, depending on how you need to look at it, is the increased speed ranges. Like the sport of cycling, you can have sprinters and climbers as well as GC, basically all-around skills. But cycling covers a lot of ground in regards to speed. The uphill climbs are brutal for some, while others make the climb look easy. The sprints in a race show the sprinters pull away from the pack with jaw-dropping speed. The AKM2G can do the powerful climbs, but is also made for the high-speed sprint. It has the added speed range needed for many of the machines on the market. The AKM2G is built to be flexible. It has a housing made in 3 sections in order to take advantage of Kollmorgen's ability to co-engineer quickly. Like the AKM, you can dial in on your needs like a set of golf clubs. For those of you who golf, you know there is a nearly endless selection of off-the-shelf clubs that you can purchase to help you achieve better results. But there's also the customizable aspect of golf clubs, where the height, grip, and bend in the shaft are all accounted for based on your swing. That's partly how the housing that is made in 3 sections comes in. As you find the need to co-engineer for a more custom fit in the machine, you can do so in order to get the results you're looking for. The AKM2G is also more energy efficient. I realize this isn't a selling point in parts of the US, but it will trend more and more over time. Being energy efficient is like swimming. Form, stroke, and breathing all become important in order to gain seconds in the pool. Other sports may be able to afford inefficiencies, not really noticing when breathing is off, stride is too short, or form is a bit sloppy. Most managers would argue that it matters to them, but it's not as important as other things. But with swimming, the efficiency is extremely important. This is similar for the AKM2G. Not every customer will be looking for an energy-efficient machine, but for the ones that are looking for one, it will be very important to them. Of course, the AKM2G is made to work with Kollmorgen products like AKD and soon the AKD2G, but it does play well with others. Like a player on an all-star team, the player is just more at home with its team. But it can also be a part of an all-star team and work with other components that the customer feels they must have. So where does that leave you? Well, it means you're the coach. You'll need to choose which Kollmorgen team of products to place in the different customers and applications. Like the opening screen showed, you can place the AKM2G into applications where space and a smaller motor footprint is a requirement, or if you need higher speed capabilities. For example, if an OEM has a machine with space constraints, of course you're going to be looking at a smaller motor, which means look into AKM2G. Similarly, If they are looking to get more out of an already established machine, you could use the AKM2G to increase speed or torque. If you need an explosion-proof motor, you'd still be looking at Goldline. If cost is important, VLM is a good option. And of course, AKM is still an excellent motor for motion-centric applications across the board. So for a quick wrap-up, AKM is here to stay. AKM2G is the newest member of the team with specialties as a small, powerful, flexible, fast, customizable motor that is energy efficient and plays well with others. Thanks for watching.